Well, here we are again. Let's see if everybody's getting loaded up there. Cloud Hub, good morning to you. Good morning to Rumble and YouTube. Everybody's here for the first time. Everybody who is watching on replay, thank you so much for being here. And if you will be so kind at the end of the show, if you get value out of it, please do share so that people can get value out of this information as well. I see that Cloud Hub is up and running, so that's good. And let's see, check out Rumble really quickly. And this is the day, again, before Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day to you if you celebrate that day, right? So, all right. So I don't see Rumble up and going yet. Don't know why Rumble's always so slow to get up and going. Might be one of those days we don't connect with Rumble for some reason. Don't know why, but if that's the case, then I will just give Rumble upload it later. But I don't know why it's doing that. It's looking like it's not going to work today. So, just my luck. But anyway, all right. So today we're going to go on a little deeper dive. We always talk about organics. We're going to go into a deeper dive today on organics, and so I hope that you will find what you're going to be seeing informative, because that's what I always want to do for you, is inform you on what's going on in cases of organics or anything else. Hey, Curtis, good morning. For some reason, we don't have Rumble up and working today, so apologizing to those people who can't hear me on Rumble, but I will get that information loaded up. Oh, looks like we're up. Oh my gosh, finally.
Well, here we are again.
Let's
See if everybody's.
let me
else.
just
Hey, Curtis.
get
Good
the sound
morning.
off of that. It
Some
took
reason we
it
don't
took
have.
forever to get Rumble up and going today, so kind of slow. All right, so let's get started. And then afterwards, we will take any questions or discuss about what we have seen. So let me get this up, and here we go. Okay, so today we're going to take a closer look at organic foods. Let's start by asking, are all organic foods healthy? Not all organic food is nutritious. Just because a product is labeled organic, it doesn't mean that it is nutrient dense. Some of these products are still highly processed foods, high in calories, added sugar, salt, and added fats. We've talked about the different oils before that are inflammatory type oils like safflower, sunflower, vegetable, different things like that. And oddly enough, you can find these in these oils in organic food and other things that are in foods that are labeled organic that aren't healthy for you. Now, organic versions of snack foods such as cookies or boxed mac and cheese may have the same unhealthy characteristics as their non organic counterparts, including too much sugar and not enough protein and fiber. Bottom line, you need to read the list of ingredients, even if the product says it's organic. Now, what is the definition of organic food? Wikipedia says that organic food, ecological food, or biological food are foods and drinks produced by methods complying with the standards of organic farming. Standards vary worldwide, but organic farming features practices that cycle resources, promote ecological balance, and conserve biodiversity. Of course, that would be totally important to Wikipedia. All right. Others say that federal law requires that organic food products be produced in ways that promote ecological sustainability without the toxic inputs and genetically engineered ingredients that are common in the conventional food system. I don't know about you, but I don't like to hear about genetically engineered ingredients in my food. Organic law also requires that farmers have a plan for building soil fertility, and an independent third party visits the farm on an annual basis to audit the farm practices. Now, the Mayo Clinic says the word organic means the way farmers grow and process farming agricultural products. These products include fruits, vegetables, grains, dairy products such as milk and cheese, and meat. Organic farming practices are designed to meet the following goals: to improve soil and water quality, cut pollution, provide safe, healthy places for farm animals to live, enable natural farm animals' behavior, promote a self sustaining cycle of resources on a farm. Organic farming is the production of food without the use of synthetic chemicals or genetically modified components. Organic foods are not necessarily completely chemical free, but the pesticide residues will be considerably lower than those found in produce manufactured with synthetic chemicals, according to Better Health Channel. Now, the USDA says produce can be called organic if it's certified to have grown on soil that had no prohibited substances applied for 3 years prior to the harvest. All right, so now we have the definition of what organic means. What is not allowed in organic farming? Let's take a close look at that. It's not allowed to have materials or methods not allowed in organic farming, which will include no artificial synthetic fertilizers to add nutrients to the soil, no sewage sludge as fertilizer. Uh, Most synthetic pesticides for pest control are not allowed, and using radiation or irradiation or irradiation, I should say, to preserve food or to get rid of disease or pests. So, does that mean that in the conventional farming, all of these are allowed? And if that's true, then most people eat conventional farming and the ways that is grown rather than organic. So, what are people putting into their systems when they don't buy organic food and it is grown in a conventional farming manner? You really have to ask yourself, how healthy is that? And why don't we just grow everything like they do in organic farming? Yes, I know it's higher cost, but can you imagine that perhaps, and this is just me thinking, my opinion, can you imagine how we could reduce some of the health concerns that are facing people these days if only people ate better and the foods that they were eating were produced better? I know that's just way out there thinking, but I'm just saying. All right. Also, not allowed when you're doing organic farming is using genetic technology to change the genetic makeup or genetic engineering. There's that word again. We've heard that like for 4 years, huh? Of crops, which can improve disease or pest resistances or to improve crop harvest. No antibiotics or growth hormones for farm animals. Sounds like a good thing. Even antibiotics and growth hormones, especially the antibiotics, people, they talk about with people taking antibiotics, how bad that can be for you if you're taking them for prolonged periods of time. Organic crop farming materials or practices may include plant waste left on fields, green manure, farm animals manure, or compost to improve soil quality. Now, if you're having the farm animal manure, if they're not shot full of antibiotics and hormones and eating all kinds of horrible things, then that should not be something that you worry about getting into the produce that you will eventually eat. Now, plant rotation to keep the soil quality and to stop cycles of pest or disease are in organic crop farming, as well as you would see covering crops that prevent wearing away of soil erosion when sections of the land aren't in use, and to plow into soil for improving soil quality. Makes a lot of sense. Mulch to control the weeds, insect traps to control the pests, certain natural pesticides, and a few synthetic pesticides approved for organic farming, used rarely and only as a last choice and coordinated with the USDA organic certifying agent. That's good to know that it's only, if true, used rarely and only as a last choice, and then coordinated by that third person. Organic farming practices for farm animals includes healthy living conditions and access to the outdoors, pasture feeding for at least 30% of farm animals' nutritional needs during grazing season, organic food for animals, and shots to protect against disease. Now, some people prefer that there are no shots in the food that they are eating. And if you are one of those people, then you can ask your local farmer if they do give those shots. Some don't. And there are things that are in those shots sometimes that even are in the shots that people get, starting with an M and ending with an A, that people don't want in their systems. Now, the USDA guidelines describe organic foods on product labels as when you're seeing something that says 100% organic, here's what it means. The label is used on certified organic fruits, vegetables, eggs, meat, or other foods that have one ingredient. It may also be used on food items with many ingredients if all the items are certified organic except for salt and water. These then may have a USDA seal. You may see an organic label if a food with many ingredients is labeled organic, at least then you know that 95% of the ingredients are certified organic, except for salt and water. The items that aren't organic must be from a USDA list of approved additional ingredients. These also may have a USDA seal. If you see the label made with organic, if a product with many ingredients has at least 70% certified organic ingredients, it may have a made with organic ingredients label. For example, a breakfast cereal might be labeled with made with organic oats. The ingredient list must show what items are organic, and these products can't carry a USDA seal. You may see a label that says organic ingredients. If a product has some organic ingredients, but less than 70% of the ingredients are certified organic, then the product cannot be labeled as organic. It also can't carry a USDA seal. The ingredient list can show which ingredients are organic. So then, is eating organic always safer or more nutritious? There are potential benefits, including the following. Nutrients. Studies have shown small to moderate increases in some nutrients in organic produce. Organic produce may have more of a certain antioxidant, however, and types of flavonoids which have antioxidant properties. Omega-3 fatty acids. The feeding requirements for organic farm animals usually cause higher levels of omega-3 fatty acid. These include feeding cattle grass and alfalfa. Or omega-3 fatty acids, a kind of fat, are more heart healthy than other fats. These higher omega-3 fatty acids are found in organic meats, dairy, and eggs. Toxic metal. Now, here's a little problem. Cadmium, I guess that's how you pronounce it, is a toxic chemical naturally found in soils and absorbed by plants. Studies have shown much lower cadmium levels in organic grains, but not fruits and vegetables when compared with crops grown using usual conventional methods. The lower levels in organic grains may be related to the ban on synthetic fertilizers in organic farming. So I have noticed that some of the farms that are organic only, and I don't know if this is the case in every state, you may have to look into your state, but they seem to be located a little bit farther away from any of the conventional farming. And maybe this is one reason why. You don't want to get the metals, and as we're going to learn in a minute, the pesticide residue that comes from the conventional farming. Pesticide residue compared with produce grown using the typical conventional methods, organically grown produce has lower levels of pesticide residue. The safety rules for the highest levels of residue allowed on conventional produce have changed. In many cases, the levels have been lowered. Organic produce may have residue because of pesticides approved for organic farming or because of airborne pesticides from conventional farms. Again, the farther away you are from a conventional farm, probably the better off your crops and your meats are for organic farming. Bacteria. Meats produced using the typical conventional methods may have higher amounts of dangerous types of bacteria that may not be able to be treated with antibiotics. The overall risk of contamination of organic foods with bacteria is the same as conventional foods. Now, what about those foods that claim that they are quote unquote natural? Is that the same as organic? The Mayo Clinic says that no, natural and organic are different. Usually, natural on a food label means that the product has no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. Natural on a label doesn't have to do with methods or materials used to grow the ingredients that we've been discussing that are required for organics. Also, be careful not to mix up other common food labels with organic labels. For example, certified organic beef guidelines include pasture access during at least 120 days of grazing season and no growth hormones. But the labels free range or hormone free don't mean a farmer followed all guidelines for organic certification. Now, see, and again, to me, that's kind of, I don't intentionally or otherwise misleading for the average consumer. When you see free range or hormone free, you're thinking, this is great, you're good to go. But that may not be the case. Cornucopia .org says it seems that almost daily occurrence, there are major food brands facing lawsuits over use of the term natural on foods that contain artificial ingredients or genetically modified organisms. However, does this happen, or how much does this happen? When organic food isn't available, those products marketed as natural would seem to be the second best option, right? They're saying no legal requirements or restrictions exist for food labeled natural. The term, in many instances, constitutes meaningless marketing hype promoted by corporate interests seeking to cash in on the consumer's desire for food produced in a genuinely healthy and sustainable manner. To me, that right there says it all. That's absolutely the reason we don't have organic foods grown across the board or in larger amounts and done properly without trying to allegedly, in my opinion, mislead people so that you can cash in. Does that mean that natural foods are organic or just as good? Again, unlike the organic label, no government agency, certification group, or other independent entity defines the term natural on food packages or ensures that the claim has any merit other than meat, where the USDA has created some extremely modest requirements. Each corporation and its marketing department determine its own definition of the natural label. Wow. So we're going to leave it up to corporations to say the definition of natural. They're saying natural generally is thought to mean no artificial ingredients, including preservatives. But the farms and processing plants that produce ingredients for quote unquote natural foods are not prohibited by law from spraying dangerous pesticides, growing genetically engineered crops, applying toxic fumigants, solvents, or any other synthetic processing aids. None of these agricultural and manufacturing inputs are required by law to be listed on ingredient labels. Wow. Makes you not want to buy natural at all, in my opinion. When determining their natural standards, companies will consider their profitability, Environmental concerns are unlikely to weigh heavily, if at all, in this profitability equation. Good to know. In contrast, the USDA regulates and enforces organic food production and labeling as required by an act of Congress, the Organic Foods Production Act of 1990. The National Organic Program at the USDA regulates the organic industry and enforces organic labeling laws. Cornucopia.org concludes, so buyer beware. If something says it's all natural, it probably isn't. Look for the certified organic label. Buy from smaller local organic farms for your fruit, vegetables, meat, eggs, and dairy, and steer clear of those meaningless natural claims. We have to make sure we are not tricked into believing that natural means basically the same as organic and that we're good to go. And we have to make sure that we're not tricked by foods labeled pure. Pure, again, just like natural, does not mean organic. All right. To be certified, all ingredients must meet or go above and beyond the USDA's strict standards. And according to this Mary Tyler, I guess it is.com, that is not true when something is labeled pure. In conclusion, as always, we must be diligent. We can't rely on labels. And some entities only want your money and aren't concerned with our health needs. I don't know. You just shake your head at some of the things that we've heard. Um, Instead of, and I'm sure it's always been the case, right? But companies like to tell you, oh, we so much care about your health. We want you to have good health. We want this, we want that. And then we find out that it is all about the bottom line. It's not about your health. It's about their profitability for most cases. And the big corporations. I'm not talking about, the mom and pops, farmers and those people. Yes, they need to make a living, but they're interested, a lot of them, and I've spoken with them. They have a true interest in your health and ensuring that you get the proper food. But you think about it, if organic is usually a little bit more expensive, but if everyone were to have organic food, where the food is processed according to the way that organic foods are processed and organic farming is done, then what a healthier country, right, or world, but let's just say the United States, what a healthier country that we would have. But what happens when you have a healthy country? Let's break that down. Okay. I'm going to go to the cynical part of it right now. If you have a healthy country, then you're not giving out pills at the doctor's office, right? And what does that hurt? Well, that hurts the pharmaceuticals, right? And if you're not handing out pills because you're not seeing patients, then doctors aren't getting paid. Okay. So, in that respect, it's kind of a snowball effect, and why that the foods and everything that we eat and drink aren't made better. Okay. And then again, like I said, we have that bottom line of how, people just want to make money, which is a total shame. But we've seen this, now more than ever about it's not about your health, it's about the almighty dollar, which the almighty dollar is shrinking, as we know. Now, during this, one of the viewers mentioned Steely Dan is his name, mentioned that the corporations are buying up the organic farms and the organic foods, and you have to really be even more careful about that. Now, one of the groups that is doing that right now, one of the corporations is Silk, and I want to read from you. This is medium.com. This is an article, not sure when this was written. Let's see, August 29, 2022. This is by Cynthia Phillips, and it's entitled How Large Corporations Are Buying Out Organic Food Companies and Why You Should Care. One example that she gives is Silk, the silk products like Silk almond milk and things of that nature. Said, although found in the health food section in most stores, they are not exactly organic. When the company was acquired by White Wave, a spin-off company of the massive pro-GMO corporation Dean Foods, they actually switched from non-GMO to GMO soybeans without telling their customers. And again, I this is so deceiving. You think when you're getting Silk and it talks about all natural and it looks great, tune in on those ingredients, you would never know that you're getting the GMO soybeans, which a lot of people would not want to get. Annie's, known for their mac and cheese, was bought out by General Mills in late 2014. This company uses a lot of non organic cheese products and does not state whether the cheese comes from cows that were fed GMOs. And it goes on and on and on. Applegate Farms, Cascadian Farm, Earthbound Farms, R.W. Knutson's, let's see, Honest Tea, maybe not so honest, I don't know. Um, Horizon Dave's Killer Bread is the latest great company to sell out for a whopping $275 million. Basically, Dave Dahl handed over his baby to the pro GMO food corporation, Flowers Food, owners of Wonder Bread, so he could sit back and relax. That I guess that's what Dave said. When asked in a recent interview, "What do you tell the folks who say Killer Dave sold out?" He responded, "That's what I did. That's what we did." So again, you have to go, like Coca-Cola is one of these big corporations buying out. You've got to go and read the labels before you buy. Even if it says organic, you want to get in closer on those ingredients to see this may be organic, good percentage of it. We heard it has to be 95% to have that USDA label. But what else is in there? What GMO stuff is in there? What oils and all these other ingredients that may not be good for you, and you have to read that. Good to see you. So thanks for all great information. Hey, Ken, it's so good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Um, and you're welcome about the information. I want everybody to have good health, and I want us to just become such that we research everything, that we go in, we don't have to rely on other people, we don't have to rely on the corporations. And you know what, it may be getting to the point where it's time for us to start thinking about growing our own fruits and vegetables. There are some people, you can't grow your own meats, uh, unless you have a farm and a ranch and all the other things that you need to do. But you can certainly maybe have a greenhouse and grow fruits and vegetables. I had a greenhouse. I'm gonna have to think about getting a better greenhouse because it just didn't last. It lasted like 1 year and it was gone. But I grew, tomatoes. I had spinach from it. I grew other herbs and spices and things like that, and it was great. It was great to have. Now you can't grow it in the quantity perhaps that you might need, but as things get worse and worse out there, as big corporations buy up all of these organic foods and organic farms, what are you going to do? Are you going to just say, well, I guess I'll just go ahead and eat the genetically modified stuff? We've heard about genetically modified and what it does to your body. Or am I going to just take it, take the reins and say, okay, I'm gonna get a greenhouse or I'm gonna grow a garden. When I lived on the East Coast, I remember that we always had a garden. We grew such great vegetables that it was amazing. And we had the soil was so great on the East Coast. And we had so many vegetables that we literally had to just give them away because we couldn't even freeze enough. We had so many. And that's really what we may need to start getting back to because in my opinion, it looks like in some cases we are being lied to. We are being reeled in. We are being told that everything is great here. Look, it's organic, it's natural, it's pure. All of those things mean that it's safe, right? When you hear those words, you go, wow, it's safe, it's good to eat, good to go. And now we learn today that that is not necessarily true. Shameful, shameful, shameful. All right. Anybody have any questions or anything like that before we go? And again, if you will please just share this with other people who may need to know this information and don't know about this, so they can have a healthier life based upon the truth rather than, the fake stuff that's going on around there. All right. So it doesn't look like we have any questions or anything today. It's so good of you to come by today. Good to see some of you that I haven't seen in a while. Hope you come back. We do this every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern. And again, if you would just go ahead and share with everybody so they can have a healthier lifestyle, perhaps that would be great. All right. Until next time, God bless you. Take care, and we'll see you again real soon.